Hi, it's a me, Ally.
And it's a me, a Will.
I like to play the Mario.
And I like to play the Mario.
And when we combine forces, we become the co-nerding operation known as the Pairables.
Welcome to the Pairables.
Welcome.
Welcome
Come on down.
to the Pairables. Again, 2 welcomes to you and yours, Allie and listeners.
Hi. Parables.
Boom, Pairables. Did
And
it.
we're done. Let's stick a fork in it.
That's right.
There's a little beloved video game series, character,
Franchise.
everything.
Franchise.
I keep saying series.
Franchise. Well, because there's been a film. There's been TV
been a
shows.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's been.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure I had this fella's name on and picture on a lunch pail or something at some point.
For sure. Definitely had some stickers with his face on
Had
it.
a shirt.
Definitely had a shirt.
I had like some
Hundo.
like pepperoni smelling scratch and sniff stickers. Is that bad?
I think it's a little. That's a little bad. Hey, you want some pepperoni scratch and sniff stickers?
Mario.
Mario.
It's a me, Mario.
It's a me, a Mario.
It's a he, Mario.
Yeah, it's just a little gentleman.
Today, we're talking about him.
We're going to talk about him.
His spirit is here in the room with us for sure. As you'll know, you can tell from our spirited conversation and the words that we'll be using. Lots of and aha and woohoo, aha, wah-hah, woo.
Let's make it where our reactions can only be Mario clips.
I'll try. You mean like clips from our bodies, though? Like organic audio clips.
Organic audio
which
clips.
are weirds. Weirds. This came about partly because there was a game recently released called Super Mario Maker A2. A2. And I have been playing it on my Switch.
You have been.
And it's reminded me, not that I need much reminder because I played Super Mario Odyssey not that long ago, but it is a reminder of how much I love Mario in any form, 2D, 3D, 2.5D, 4D.
Mario. In every D you could imagine.
Mario gets all the Ds.
Mario's got all the
He's
D.
got them. Yeah, he's got them covered. You don't got to worry about your
Mario's
D.
D.
He's on top of it. And so that's been that wet my whistle for a little Mario Thistle here.
God damn it. Yes, it did. Mario. So, this gentleman has appeared in, made mention of, etc., in over 250 games. Mario. 250 games.
It's a lot of games. It's too many. I'm sure, and I know for a fact that there are some
games
that are not good.
And I will. Well, that's for damn sure.
Yeah.
I will admit that I am not a Mario expert, but correct me if I'm wrong. His first appearance was in Donkey Kong, right?
I believe so.
He was a little man.
I believe so. There was, and I think this came afterwards, but we're not edutainment here, so
yeah, get out of here.
Off.
Yeah, read your own internet.
Read your own Wikipedia articles that we could just regurgitate for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
There was a Mario Brothers, not Super Mario Brothers game.
Yes, in the early 80s.
Yes, I assume it followed Donkey Kong. Being a spinoff of that, I would assume. But I'm not 100% about that. But I remember playing that. But like, you remember at the arcade back in the day, you could actually go up to an arcade
full console.
I was going to call it a shaft.
Go up to your classic video game shaft.
You kids out there, I would go and play it at the arcade, and you could choose various, like Nintendo games on it. And this is well before emulation. Like, this is just like an arcade. Like, it's like playing Galaga or Pac-Man or whatever. Yeah. And you could play Super Mario Brothers, the original one for NES on there. But there's also the one that's just like pipes and blocks all on one screen. And it's you and Luigi fighting the guys or fighting each other, kind of. And that's what I'm thinking of as
Mario Bros.
Just Mario Bros. It wasn't Super yet.
We're not Super.
Regular Regular Mario Brothers. Regular.
Regular.
Yes. So that's one of those 250. On your
games.
topped out. your countdown of 250 Mario games starts here.
Thank you, Rick Dees. The weekly top 240. Let's start with what's kind of your early, is the arcade version of Mario, is that your earliest memory of Mario?
No, I told the story on our 0 episode, our very first episode, which is funny because that's not number 1. It's number 0. It's the embryonic episode.
It's 0.
And it looks kind of like an egg.
0.
Wow. That my parents or my mom, whoever, had gotten me an NES.
That you found.
That I found before it was supposed to go to me, and then, I wasn't going to let that rest, so they had to give it to me.
Yep.
And that was lovely. I'm sure I had played the game before that, and that was my first long-term exposure, I guess, to Mario radiation.
Yep.
And I enjoyed the heck out of it.
Me too.
Some of the things that I remember about it, I remember discovering the warp early on.
Yes.
Where you can bust the blocks in, I guess, the second stage or something. Mm-hmm. The blocks that are at the very top and run along them, even though you're too high up.
Yep.
And then if you go far enough, you find these 3 pipes and they'll take you to, you choose which world you go to. And just that being one, it's I wasn't especially good at the game, so that was kind of nice to be able to skip around.
Yeah.
Because I was seeing levels I might not have seen otherwise.
Yeah, totally.
But that kind of, there's a cool factor. There's a secret factor. And that game was so simple, which I still love playing that particular kind of Mario, the 2D original NES kind.
Yep.
But the secrets, that's something that only got more featured in later games in the series, and that it was already there. It felt cool. It felt like I found something I wasn't supposed to find almost. I assumed I was one of 3 children in the world who even knew about it.
Yes. Oh, wow.
I was not that
Such
smart, though.
Special man.
Yes, and I was so afraid of Bowser at the end of the dungeons because you always had to fight him, and he's just jumping up and down. It's it almost seems harder than fighting him in Mario 64 because there's only one way to go at him. I guess you can go underneath or you can shoot him with fireballs and stuff, but he just seemed so impossible, and there's the lava and everything.
Yep.
It's so funny because you look at it, and it's just... these very abstract representations, relatively, of these things, but it totally sucks me in even now as I play Mario Maker. I'm afraid of that man.
He's stressing me out.
Yeah, Dino stress.
Big Dino man.
That's right.
Yeah, we shared, I think it was on the 0, the egg episode. My friend that it sort of shamed me a little bit that I went over and entertained play dates with her more often than I really wanted to because she had the NES.
Right. It was, you almost went down the path of a sociopath.
A little bit.
Down the sociopath.
Down the old sociopath. Yeah. That was kind of my first intro into Mario Land.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, this is very fun. I do this thing where I get impatient about boss battles. I'm okay, fine, I'll do it. But I want to just keep going. I like the level part.
They only really have one way of ending the boss battle. It's just you can only go at it again a few ways.
Or you're gonna win.
Yeah, and it's never a different Bowser, at least for what I remember.
I'm gonna die. The thing where I get screwed up in terms of timeline is when the original Game Boy comes into play. Because I believe it's Super Mario Brothers.
Super Mario Land.
Is it Super Mario Land?
Yeah, and I think we did this last time that we talked.
You did it last time too? That didn't surprise me. There it is. Super Mario. That game, I think I definitely played more than Super Mario Brothers than the OG. Those are the worlds, when I think about Mario, in my head, it's that Mario Kart on the Super Nintendo and Mario 64. Those are the 3 that stay in my head the most.
Right.
It's very weird.
Did you play Super Mario Brothers 2?
Yes.
On the NES?
Yes.
That one I played a lot.
Yes.
I played a whole lot.
And I played the Super Nintendo. What is that one?
Super Mario World.
Is it? Mm-hmm. Land, World. My God, this is confusing. This is like Disneyland and Disney.
Well, Land is smaller than
Worlds,
and World is bigger than Land. And Galaxy is bigger than World.
Fine. I guess I can't fight that logic. Yeah, but I played 2 on the NES, and then once we got into Super Nintendo. I think that's where it like really took off for me.
Well, yeah, because that one it's really my favorite Mario game. Like it's between that and 64, Mario World and 64. But 2 had this weird, and it's really well known in the gaming world at this point, which I did not know as a kid, but that it was another game that they changed a little bit and replaced these separate characters with Mario characters. And I'm going to mess it up, but I believe what happened, they had done a sequel to Super Mario Brothers, the original one, that was just the same engine and it was just harder. And they thought, we don't want dumb American players who can't play video games well, to be discouraged and associate frustration with Mario. So they had already, I think some of the same team members had worked on this other game. And so, and maybe they were trying to implement some of that stuff into a Mario game and they couldn't. But that's why that game is so different from the other ones at the time. There's no Goombas, there's no Koopa Troopas or anything like that.
Yeah.
Even like the final boss, even though he looks kind of like Bowser, is warped. It's kind of this more froggy version, but like that's why you got to play as Princess and the Toad and Luigi and all that, because they had multiple characters to choose from the original one. But that one seemed especially like labyrinthine. Like it seemed like, I guess there were different stages, but each stage had a bunch of different doors. It seemed like that would just lead you to different places. It still felt very much like a Mario game at the end of the day.
Oh, God.
But there was a lot of verticality to it as well, like climbing up.
Oh, yeah.
And the main thing that I remember, a couple things. One was this character, Birdo, that looked like Yoshi, but pink and with a little bow. And she would spit out eggs as a projectile, kind of like the bullets. But there was one point, maybe more than one, where she would shoot out an egg and there's this body of water next to where you are. And if you hopped on top of the egg, you could ride across the ocean to this other part of the map that you couldn't get to otherwise.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, just little stuff like that. And also in the sand or the underground, it looked kind of like Dig Dug when you were in the sand. And the music they played, I loved. All the music in that game was awesome.
Good.
So much so that at the end of it, when you beat it, and by the way, if there's any Mario games that you have not completed that you don't want the paper-thin plot ruined for you, just don't.
Just go ahead and go.
Maybe
we'll
rethink your problem and then consider if you really want that to be what you
rethink your life a little.
Base your life around. But at the end, you find out that Mario's just had a dream, and that's why it's all so different. Everything took place in a dream.
Mario,
yeah.
No.
I'm asleep.
Sleepy Mario.
Oh, so sleepy. But he's dreaming, and they play this lullaby music that I really, really liked, and it would stop playing if you press start, but it would keep playing if you didn't press anything. So I got out my cassette player and recorded the lullaby for like 4 or 5 minutes just so that I could hear it whenever I wanted to, just because I knew I'm not going to go back and beat the game again,
so
to have to hear it.
precious.
Yes. But then there was 3, that was really the real, I guess, sequel to Super Mario.
The real deal.
Yeah, it's the real deal right here. And it really was because it was featured in The Wiz. Did you see that movie?
Oh, yes. That's where he has the power glove, right?
Yes. And that,
I love that movie, by the way.
Here's the thing. I haven't seen it since it came out. I remember so little of it. I just know that Fred Savage was in it.
Fred Savage is in it.
He has a little brother.
He has a little brother that was traumatized by the death of his twin. Of the twin.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Sister.
I knew he was a little different, but then there was a girl running around with them too. And I always put Winnie from the Wonder Years in that place, but I know that's not right.
No, it's Jenny Lewis from band fame. Oh my God. Wow. I feel really ashamed.
Band fame?
Yeah, she's in a band. If you're into that. Damn it, Jenny Lewis.
I'm not into music. I don't know.
Yeah, not at all.
Yeah, I'm not so much into it. Well, so I saw that in the theater, and when they premiered this new game, Super Mario Brothers 3, in the movie, it seemed revolutionary and insane. Like, I was so excited about that game. It seemed like the highest technology.
Now I want to watch The Wiz.
In a pop. Let's just stop and watch The Wiz.
I gotta go watch The Wiz.
That was, of course, the premiere of Super Mario Brothers 3, and it came out sometime afterwards, and I was just jonesing for it, and my dad's business partner and his wife bought it for me as a gift.
Damn.
At some point, yeah.
What a nice
which was
gift.
really nice. I was like, I remember the yellow instruction manual and how bright the colors were on and how Mario just looked so happy.
Look how happy
he was so
Mario
happy. He was
is.
a happy young Mario. But I loved that game. I loved like all the new things that were there. I didn't play all the levels because once again, you could get the warp flute on this or the whatever they called it.
The
Yeah, where you could play it and it would, you could decide which, like you could skip about 3 levels or worlds and then you could do it again. But so it would always take me to Big Small World. Do you remember this?
I never did any of these, but I always let my friends that were way better at Mario than me, that were better at platformers, I'd be like, I'm going to go over to Cameron's house, and he's really good at it.
Gotcha.
And he's the one that found all the shit.
Yeah.
He's like, watch this. Ugh.
Yeah.
So yes, I do.
But so you saw the Big Small World. My mind was blown. How did you do this? How did you make these Koopas so big? Yeah. And how did Mario get so big sometimes? It was crazy.
He's big Mario.
But I hated... maybe it's just because they were stressful. The airship levels.
Oh, I hate them.
They were. I hated all these. It was an early form of bullet hell, I guess.
Did you own a Game Boy?
No, I rented one for a trip.
Did.
Yeah,
Yes, you did.
For a trip that we took. So I'm pretty sure one of the Mario Land games was one that I got, but I don't remember.
So Super Nintendo is then your next.
Yeah,
big jump.
As we've established, I did not own a Super Nintendo at the time. We did check it out for like some birthday parties and stuff. And of course, my friends all had it because I was a Sega guy.
Mr.
At that time, Sega guy.
I can hear.
I wasn't a JRPG guy yet. If I had been, maybe I would have known to go with the Super Nintendo.
Get your Super Nintendo out.
Get your Super Nintendo. But that game just appealed immediately because the art was so bright and clear and beautiful, and there was this dinosaur that ate things, and it had so many secrets in it. I loved it. All the doors that led to different places, and how you could end a level going through this door that's halfway through the level if you found it, and then it creates on the map. The map would change whenever you beat a level, and so it would make a little path to the next one, and it would like terraform the map so that you could get to the next place, but also there might be a side place that you go to that takes you elsewhere on the map. I had not really experienced that in anything because even if that was happening in role-playing games, I wasn't playing them.
Yeah.
And so it was just so well done and so much fun. The music was great. And I loved it. And so, what would happen is I would check out the Super Nintendo from Premiere Video, and someone would have played that game and they had like a fully beaten Super Mario World. So half the time I would just go through and pick all the ones that I wanted to. Yeah, and just go and play through all the fun ones. But when I did finally play through it for myself, I don't know that I played it all the way to the end, but I was like, I got to do this for myself.
Gotta do it for me.
Do it for me.
I gotta do it for me.
Gotta prove it to myself.
I did just confirm it is Super Mario Land 2 is the Game Boy game that I spent the absolute most amount of time with.
Got it. So it wasn't 3.
It was not 3.
And it was not a world.
It was not a world.
Smaller than a world.
It was like smaller than a world.
Yes.
Land. Land times dose.
Well, like a landlord is lesser than a world lord on the totem pole, Hey,
you know what? I gotta get a request out to my world lord.
My world lord is
the world's kind of a little
yeah.
Dodgy right now. Can you get this fixed?
I want to bring up this game.
Oh God.
That is off the beaten path, but it is definitely a Mario game. It is the only one that I'm specifically going to go after on this podcast because I spent a lot of time with it.
Okay.
It was a PC game called Mario's Missing.
Yes, I see that on the master list here.
And it was an edutainment game where it's kind of like where in the world is Carmen Sandiego, but you're Luigi and you're trying to hunt down your brother. And you're just walking around the sidewalks of foreign countries, like checking into it's basically detective work.
Real?
Yes, that's real. And you're going into like information places and stores and these types of things.
You see my brother.
Basically, and the clues all have to do with logic and geography and stuff that's like history of the area. But you play as Luigi the whole time. But I really enjoyed it. But then it got erased or something like that. My game got unsaved or I lost my way along the way. And I'd gotten so far in it. I just wanted to find that fucking Mario. I just wanted to find him. Where is he? And so I had to start over again. And I don't know if I ever found Mario.
Yeah, Mario's Missing is the first Mario game to feature only Luigi as the starring character, which didn't occur again until Luigi's Mansion.
Wow, it took that long.
In 2001. Can we just talk about, though, the little synopsis for this game?
Yeah.
In the game, Bowser sets up a castle in Antarctica and plans to use hair dryers to melt the continent's ice and flood Earth.
Now, Mario 64 is
my life.
It's pretty impeccable. Even the faults in the camera system are kind of perfect.
Oh yeah, that camera system is jank as shit, but I was so happy to have a 3D Mario. I didn't give any
Well,
fucks.
frankly, it's not at the time, it's still amongst the best.
Absolutely.
Like it set the standard for so many things, and it still not only set the standard, but it seemed to continue to be better than a lot of 3D games as far as camera goes and feel and all that. Like it felt viscerally correct.
Mario 64 blew most people's minds, to be fair.
Yeah. Well, and it's still like I've bought it in multiple forms over the years. I've gotten it on Wii. I got it on the 3DS version, or not the 3D, the DS version at one point. So it's like it's one of those games where it's like I'll pretty much play it. And also in Super Mario Odyssey, you get to go back to the castle. Like almost exactly as it was laid out.
I heard about that.
Even like with that front room where you would look up into the sky, and if you look up into the sky lights, it'll take you to a certain thing.
Oh my god!
Just like there, and one, it was just fun. Two, the secrets were so pervasive. And when I say secrets, I mean ultimately we all kind of know them now.
Yeah.
But like to look up into the skylight of the castle, you're like, oh, I wonder if I look up here, what's up here? And suddenly you're in a flying level that's necessary for you to get 100%.
Yeah.
And there was no clue.
You did all the star hunting,
I did. Yeah, I did it a couple times over time. But it was a long time going.
The music in that one also sticks to me. Like those songs, I can actually hear them.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Yeah, I can. There's so many of them. The Underwater World. That's the one that I always can think of.
I also, in my mind, I'll never forget. Like when he dies and loses the level. Oh no! It's so.
And the black, the tunneling effect.
It's the first time we really got like a canon Mario voice. It's been that guy.
That's true.
Since that we have it, and before then it was not. Jerry.
Chandel. Charles Martinet.
Yeah, he used to show up on G4 when that was still around early on.
Hey, Mario, say Mario.
Well, yeah, pretty much. They would just shove a mic in his face, and it's like, oh, this cute little guy is Mario.
Mario 64, I can remember I was one of the first out of my group of friends to get the Nintendo 64. So they all were like, oh, we want to come over and play. And I would even like box it or put it in its own little bag, like a go spend the night at a friend's house. They'd be like, oh, you bring it with you? Sure. Bring it along with you. And then the other game, I think we played a lot of Mario Kart on the Super Nintendo for sure. But Mario Kart 64 is another one that we spent loads of time.
Yeah.
I can remember us like saving up, and my mom was like, okay, we got to save up some money so we could get all 4 controllers to have the full blown. God, and splitting that on a single screen was such a disaster, with the stacked rows that I'd be like, which one am I again? Oh, I'm the top guy. Okay, no, there's Mario. Okay, everything's fine. But we played hours of that game. Hours. The only thing that's funny, though, is a lot of my other friends have more memories with Mario 64 and would it be Smash Bros?
Yeah, Smash Brothers made its
Super
debut
Smash
on there.
Brothers. So that a lot of my friends played that. We have discussed before. That's not my speed.
Yeah,
I'm not into it. Also played Mario Golf.
You're a pacifist when it comes to Nintendo. Yeah. You don't want your guys fighting each other.
No, I'm not into it.
Yeah.
No, we're here to just hang out. I don't want Mario to punch Luigi.
You want you want a Mario farming simulator.
I sure did.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where's that? Where's that at, Nintendo?
Raising
Mario
piranha
Farm.
plants.
Mario Farm.
and berries for Yoshi.
Yeah, but I didn't like Mario Party. I'm trying to think of
I wasn't. I mean, there's so many. We've talked about how we both enjoyed some of the sports ones before. Like,
I
those
love
are fun.
Mario Tennis. That was a very competitive thing in my house. How could I forget that till just now? Oh my God. We would do like tournament rounds. Like we'd have like 2 to 3 friends over, and I'm like, I'll fucking mop you all.
Yeah,
on this floor.
I always wanted them to have something more out of the ordinary about them. Obviously, they're not like simulators or anything like that. But I wanted the tennis to have like, I'm gonna shoot the fireball.
I
that
think
sort
the
of
new
thing.
one we have the new one for Switch, and I've only played it like a smidge, but it has more like jazzery.
I like that. I think that's
you like the jazzery.
Well, because I don't really care about. I mean, it's fun. They were fun, but it didn't keep my attention because it's like
played tennis.
Only
so it was
much.
Like,
yeah,
I'm little Mario playing tennis.
Right. That's so cute.
Actually, of course, I was always Wario. I don't know why I wanted to be the fat angry guy.
I mean, he's no fatter than Mario, is he?
Yeah, he's rounder.
He's rounder?
Yeah, he's rounder.
He shouldn't let himself go.
He has. little current with the times, it'd be good to bring up Dr. Mario. Dr. Mario just got released as a mobile game.
Yes.
Huge thing for that. Did you play Dr. Mario?
Yeah.
Back in the day.
I've played it a good amount. My main memory of it, I mean, I played it as a kid, and I liked the music and the little the design of whatever they're supposed, the viruses, like they just look like little gremlins or whatever. So that was cool, and I liked puzzle games. I remember in college age, at least whether I was actually in college at the time or not, my friends were playing old games a lot all of a sudden, and my friend and his girlfriend and her sister were playing Dr. Mario. And when I got on to play it, it was just kind of like, okay, we're just taking turns playing the game. But they were all yelling at me moves I should be making that I missed, which is about as useful to like yelling at me that there's a stop sign in front of me. I'm going to probably react worse than I was going to in the first place. So I just said
really
like,
stressing me out.
Well, yeah, what's the fun? You play the game when you play the game. Why are you so invested in how I'm playing my game? Let me lose fast then if I'm fucking it up. You'll get to play again sooner.
Stop doing that.
But so I associate, I like puzzle games. I don't play them very often, but maybe it's partly because I have an association with that.
With your friend yelling at you,
the phantasm of these shamers hovering over the back of my shoulders.
And then we're going to GameCube time.
Yeah.
So this is where I have the dark days of my video gaming career, where I kind of fell off. So I did own a GameCube. I did play Luigi's Mansion, and that is the last Mario game I remember playing in that whole console generation.
Super Mario Sunshine was, really since Mario 64, the main Mario games, like, because there's been ones recently that are 2D or 2.5D, and those are the ones that I've played are great, but those are not, in my mind, those are not mainline Mario games. Those are not like the sequels or the furthering of the franchise. And Sunshine was the next one after Mario 64. At one point, they were going to do Mario 128, and there was like a demo of that with a whole ton of Marios running around, kind of like 64, but
so many Marios.
They didn't do it. And so we ended up getting Sunshine on GameCube, and I bought it. I was really excited because it looked good, and it wasn't a bad game. And I bet I've talked to someone recently who really has good memories of that game. I remember it as feeling like a bit of a disappointment because all those games since Mario 64 have been permutations of Mario 64. The moves are basically the same, and that's fine because really they got it right. So it's kind of, I'm not really looking for them to.
If it ain't broke.
Yeah, but what they added was just him having a water pack on his back.
Oh, yeah. That's what I was like. Is that what that one was?
Which I don't really, if the concept's good or bad, it doesn't really matter. Like, I liked the hats thing in Super Mario Odyssey a hell of a lot more because you could do all sorts of shit.
Alive.
Well, yeah, you can take over little things and become like them. Whereas the pack just felt like it was a complication, and the whole thing was like island themed and a lot. I mean, there was still cool stuff. Don't get me, it was not a badly made game, but there was this evil Mario running around that was made out of water or something like that.
Water Mario.
Yeah, just like a bad doppelganger that was doing. I know what it was. He had spray painted the island. He had defaced this island.
Oh, yeah, you had to clean it.
You had to clean it.
I did play that. I did play that.
It's like, great. Okay, cool. I mean,
fine.
Who cares? It seems like that would honestly have been a better fit for the Wii because, like, to aim the hose or whatever, you could be moving your hand around. As it was just a holdover. It was like, well, this is our Mario game. Okay, cool. Not bad.
Yeah,
it's more of the same.
Gen.
Yeah, I wish it was better, but so be it.
Now, I owned a DS. I did still have one, but I just wasn't playing any Mario games on it, which is kind of a surprise, but
yeah, they had role-playing, the role-playing thing, Mario and Luigi. They had a re-release of Mario 64 with where you could play different characters, including Wario.
Mario Hoops 3-on-3. What? Is that necessary?
I mean, why is that any less necessary than Mario Tennis? Or Mario Bowling, or Mario Curling, or Mario Powerlifting.
I love Mario Powerlifting. One of the all-time greats.
But no, I had a DS, but I barely played anything on it, so that I didn't play more than just a little bit of the 64 game is not a surprise to me because I just didn't play. I don't,
I didn't play it either.
On the go gaming is just, I'm at home a lot, I guess, so I don't need it.
Yeah, we were talking about that, how you really enjoy keeping your Switch like hooked up like a console.
Most of the time.
I'm the opposite. I'm like, I love that I can play that thing in bed.
I mean, it's nice because I will take it occasionally where it's like, if I'm going to somewhere that for an occasion where it's like, well, maybe I'll have some extra time and this is a way to fill it. But I just
Great for travel.
I don't have a lot. Yeah, that's great. But I don't have a lot of that. So it's not so useful to me in that way, although it's nice that it's the option.
No, that's totally fair.
Thank you.
So now let's get into Wii time. You're welcome.
Skipped right over it.
You're welcome.
Yes, Wii time.
Wii time. Wii
It's time for Wii.
I didn't play anything.
You played nothing.
No Mario on Wii. None. Not even
Good,
Mario Kart.
because they didn't even release anything about Mario on that. So
there's none.
I played Galaxy well after the fact. In fact, I played Galaxy 1 around the time I think that Galaxy 2 was coming out.
Oh, wow.
Which was cool that
At least you played it. I didn't.
They were excellent. They were very fun. It felt like a proper evolution because there was gravity and you're running around on various levels of planets like and sizes, and it just felt fun to shoot from a planet to another. It felt very fresh, even though it was very familiar at the same time, the moves and everything. I really, really enjoyed it. It was great.
I was living my cooking mama best life, and I didn't give a shit about it. I was like, nope, I like this weird cooking game.
You were cooking Mama Bess?
I was cooking mama everything.
How does she feel about that?
These are the jokes.
I got you. I got to go back on GameCube. I got to say this.
Okay.
Because I did play Smash Brothers on the GameCube a lot.
Okay.
I'm not one of these guys that would ever go to a tournament. We thought we were that good at the time. Probably we weren't. But we all played a lot. And I love the randomness of it. The shit that can just drop into a game and make it the guy who was losing suddenly wins. That's fun for me. I almost always played as Mario. That was my character that I played as 99% of the time.
Mario.
I do love a Mario. And I would always, whether it was shit talking or it was me being angry or just joking around,
both.
any of them, I would say that Mario is the president of Nintendo and he's going to revoke your paycheck if you beat him. So anytime someone was starting to beat me, it's like, I'll revoke your paycheck. You were fired.
You got no job.
Yeah, and I would come in. I'm sure people got real tired of that fucking spiel, but that's what I gave them every time. And yeah.
Every time.
It's great. I need to play the new one. I think it would just be fun. But I feel like now that there's online capability, it's like, I don't want to play anybody who plays online. I'm sure they're going to kick my ass. I'm no good at this, but I don't know. If it has a level creator, I'm into it. Because I wanted that on the other one.
I want to know about that. Like, how do you see? I'm like, I don't want to make something. I want you to make something that I like and keep moving with my life.
So you're a taker.
I'm a taker.
You're just a straight up taker.
I'm just a good old
an SU tier
taker. When did Super Mario Maker
the original?
One?
I think it was 5 years ago, I think, ish, is what it seems like.
Is it Wii or Wii U?
It was Wii U because I had a Wii and I considered buying a Wii U to play it, but that was true of a few games.
Man, you want to talk about...
wasted? Yeah, don't do it. I dodged 20 bullets.
Ooh, well, and they should be thankful they got all those Nintendo cash reserves because that was a disaster of a console.
They should apologize for re-releasing it. It was a cool idea. The tablet, thing was a cool thing. And that's honestly, playing Mario Maker 2 now, which this is the only one I've ever played.
Mm-hmm.
Since I'm playing it on the screen a lot, it is, people have in the reviews pointed out, it is probably a better workflow, almost assuredly, to play it on the touch screen because you're drawing things. You're not really drawing anything like very discreetly, but you are having, it helps to do that stuff. So I've considered getting one of the little styluses or styli to do some of that. because I am working on it, but I don't know. I just don't know that I don't like just staring down at a very small screen to do all that stuff.
That's fair.
But the Wii, I can see how fun it would have been to have a tablet that you're working on to do that with the original Mario Maker.
Yeah.
It was popular. It's popular enough to make a sequel for sure.
Yeah.
And it seemed so fun. And I remember watching the YouTubes of the shit that people make. And that's true now too.
Oh yeah,
just
it's
seeing
insane.
Everything. I love both sides of, or I multiple sides of it. Cause I love levels that are just straight up solid, normal-ish Mario levels that could have been in any of these games. And because the different styles you can play, make the level as are, at least in this one, original Mario Brothers, Mario 3, Super Mario World, or Super Mario Brothers, or also Super Mario Brothers 3D or whatever it's called, which is not like Mario 64 3D. It's just a different kind of thing. But you can create levels and all those things. And when sometimes some of the levels that people create are just like solid, like Nintendo just made a new level for this game, this old Super Mario World game. Some of them are just insanely difficult, but it's fun sometimes to try and overcome the challenge. Sometimes they've used the mechanics of the world and the items that you have in a way that you just never would have thought to use them, which is pretty neat. Like, I mean, even as simple as like you can create like a large flying one of these things and then put a piranha plant on the back of it. So it's a flying thing with a piranha plant on the back of it. And I'm like, oh, I never even thought of that.
I didn't think about throwing a piranha plant
Nintendo didn't either, apparently, because I never remember seeing them. But the ones that I love the most, though, and the ones that I'm interested in making just for fun's sake, are ones that are themed and that are kind of telling an abstract story, because you can't, there's no text, there's no, like, all you can do is name the level and then put a description, which is limited on the text you can use, and then you have, you know, the blocks of a Mario level. And I really like the ones that I've seen, and I've started trying to do them where you're kind of telling a little bit of a story. It's not satisfying that way, but it's kind of like if you were to pay attention to the details of the level, even if it's just as simple as I'm walking up to a temple that has a door, and so there's a vine hanging from it, and these little details where it's like they're not gameplay, they're just background information, but it's kind of what I guess in Skyrim they say like environmental storytelling. There's a little bit of that can be done. And I know some people are taking it much further than that, but even that level of it is actually very fun for me. Like I've been wanting to make an underground pyramid, like tomb level. I will say that my perfectionism is coming out for sure. I can say that where I'll start a level and then it's just like, it's not what I want yet. It's like, well, why don't you fucking draw it first and then figure out what you want to do? Don't just blow free jazz all over this thing. So I've got a couple levels up right now that are very short because I was just like, let's just crap something out. But as of today, as you were coming in, I had put the finishing touches on a little something for our Pairables listeners. To play.
The Pairables.
The Pairables are a joining of the Mario Maker. So I put up a level, a Pairables-themed level.
I love it.
You'll see how it is. It's called Pairables: 2 of everything.
Pairables: 2 of everything.
And I guess for your sake, Allie, because I don't know that you'll get to play it unless you buy the game, which I can suggest. It's a lot of fun to play everybody's levels that they make in the story mode. Like there's 100 weird Mario levels that Nintendo made that you can go through that are a lot of fun. But I will describe to you just that there are 2 kinds of every enemy in the level. It's meant as a challenge, and it's branded with the Pairables name in coins, spelling out the Pairables. It's fun. It's just fun. We're just here to have fun, guys.
We're just here to have some
fun. But if you Pairables listeners are playing Super Mario Maker 2 and you want to check it out, again, it's called Pairables: 2 of everything. And the code, the course ID is H9B-C8Q-9SF. H9B-C8Q-9SF.
And you guys could find this also in the show notes that I'll put up in this episode.
No, you have to remember it.
You have to remember it. Remember this number.
Remember this only. But and like I started off saying,
you made it. Have fun.
Yeah, this game is reminding me how fun. Just even like I love making the games in Super Mario Brothers that level style, just the original one, because I love the art and it's so familiar. It feels good. The physics feel right. All of it feels to me like the original games did.
These physics feel
The physics are so good that you'll believe it. You come to me on my daughter's wedding day to talk to me about the physics.
I love to see a Mario Godfather game.
Who wouldn't?
I mean, frankly, I would love to see Mario just about anything.
Now that we're in Switch territory, so you, like you said, you played Odyssey.
Yes, it was
great.
And you
really enjoyed it.
I loved it. I want more of it.
My wife bought Mario Tennis Aces. She has had lots of fun with it. But Mario Tennis is one of those games, it's fun when you play with other people.
Yeah.
Like you can play it by yourself, but when I played it by myself, I'm like, I'm just playing this alone. I'm getting bored.
Yeah.
But when we play it together, it's kind of fun. She wants Smash Bros. Or is it Mario Party? I can't remember which one.
I think she wants
likes.
Mario Party.
I think it might be
I don't
Mario
think she would
Party.
want Smash Brothers. That's overload for her.
And now you got your Mario Maker 2 over here.
Mario Maker over here.
Over here.
It's and honestly, we kind of skipped over it, but I've talked about it when I was playing it recently on the show. But I haven't been to Disney World since I was a kid. But when I was there, even then as a kid, and now that my memory of it is, along with everything else that was cool about it, it was the level of detail. The amount of thoughts and care that went into all these, like, these little things that are there that are just to further keep you in this world. And Mario games at large are much like that.
Yes.
They're the video game equivalent. And in the case of Super Mario Odyssey, especially, it just felt like there were so many cool little details. Each world was very fun, especially the city world where you see Mario next to normally built people. It felt weird, but it was just like, it was kind of funny. Like it doesn't feel like uncanny. Yeah, it's a Mario, It's a Mario.
Mario.
Super Mario. And but it was just everything in the game. My only complaint was that I wanted it to be longer. That I wanted more out of it. And I don't know if it's just that I played it so fucking hard that I went through it fast. And I'm not saying that because I got the secret level at the end, but I didn't beat it. And I kind of just got tired of everything at that point. But it is so much fun. And just to throw your hat and see what you can become. You can become a giant T-Rex. Yeah. You can become this thing over here, a Goomba, a stack of Goombas. I mean, I would,
Mario.
I guess the other want would be to become more things, but I know that you have to create gameplay style
around
for each one of them in control.
Things.
So I get it. But man, I hope that Galaxy, because that was so well received, they didn't reinvent the wheel for Galaxy 2, but it was just as good, and it was more of the same with some other things.
Yeah.
I would love DLC, anything for Mario Odyssey. I enjoyed it so much and want to keep playing that game, and I've done enough of the particular one that I've played so far.
His hat's name is Cappy.
Cappy.
That's so cute.
Cappy.
That's what my kids call my dad.
Because he's a captain?
That's what I didn't want him to have, like a granddad name, so I just picked it.
It kind of rhymes with Pappy, which is a granddad name. Because
I used to make jokes. I was like, all right, Captain, whatever. Like you're the boss. And then I was like, oh, we're going to call him that. The thing, I'm trying to remember how this is phrased when people say like a quote unquote bad Mario game is still one of the best games you'll ever play. And that's kind of true.
Yeah.
Like there's really not any, in terms of a core Mario game.
Yes.
They're never like awful.
Honestly, the one that seems to not stand the test of time, or not even
Sunshine,
that.
right?
Sunshine is the one that is the black sheep of the crew, and it is by no means a bad game.
Yeah.
It is a fun game that is good. It was I think sandwiched between two very, very a revolutionary and a very good game. If you released that game in a world where Mario didn't exist, or you just released that game but just with not Mario attached to it, and it was just a one-off thing, people would be saying, give me more of that. That game is amazing.
Yeah,
Where'd that come from?
Yeah.
So I agree with that statement that it's, similar with Zelda, it's not that every Zelda game has been perfect, but if you like that kind of game, same thing here. If you like platform, if you don't like platformers, you're not going to like Mario.
Yeah,
But you can find him
in
in other flavors.
You
can find him on that tennis court, slamming that ball back and forth.
find him beating the shit out of somebody.
Yeah, absolutely. Just jumping on top of people, curbing people.
I kind of want to play Odyssey, but I'm like,
You should.
I'm not going to spend $60 on it. It's not going to happen.
Why not?
Not going to happen.
Didn't you enjoy Mario 64? Wasn't it magical?
It was magical.
But you don't like magic. I get it. You don't like magic anymore. I understand. I get it.
I'm out.
I get it. Yeah. You're jaded and bitter. It's
And bitter.
It doesn't taste good. You don't want to be reminded of what joy tastes like, because then you might realize that it's missing from your life.
That's so true. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on another Pairables adventure. Don't forget that you can play the Pairables level that Will made, which I will include the code in the show notes for you to find. We would really appreciate it if you leave us a nice review if you like what we're putting down over here. While you're there, why not subscribe to this fine podcast? You can always visit our website at thepairables.com, where you can see those show notes that I just mentioned, as well as any games that we might reference with links to them. You could follow us on Instagram at thepairables. This handsome gentleman also has another podcast where you do what?
We have adult conversations about yesterday's animations.
That's right. That's called the Days Past Tooncast, which you can also find wherever fine podcasts are peddled. And with that, everyone, we will see you next week. Bye.
Hey, so bye-bye. Oh.
Bye.
Ooh.